And we are live. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Beer with Claude. Let me see that little banner on the bottom there. And we're going to have a beer together. We're going to talk about some real estate deals. We're even going to talk a little bit about hypnotic selling this evening. I've got my one of my favorite new beers here with me. It is Beer with Claude. Got my little munchie bowl here. What's your favorite munchie? Think about it. What is your favorite food to have with your adult beverage? Chicken wings, nachos, pistachio nuts, sardines. What is it you love to have? Hey, we got some of my friends have joined us here. We got Alex. We'll add you to the stream there, and we even have Glenn Tuttle. Hello.
Hi. How you doing, Claude?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And if you folks who are out there, Sean Eisby, Shiner, yes, I have a Shiner with me. Sean, why don't you join us once in a while? You're anti-video lately. Let's see, here's the link here. Join us, Sean, if you can get it out. No, look at all the other people here. Okay, we're broadcasting here on StreamYard. We are live on my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Facebook pages, my Periscope, and YouTube Live. So we're all over the place here. How you gentlemen doing? What's going on?
Man, loving life. Life's good. We got a short sale property under contract earlier this week, so that's exciting. Looking at a property with fire damage tomorrow, and yeah, it's been a good week. How about you guys?
You are big. It's amazing. This was a busy day. I had a lot of new people scheduled with me today. I just got off of 2 private calls here, and it's 5 o'clock here in Colorado, with 7 degrees this morning, and I still went out for a run. It was cold. I had to get out the long Colorado underwear. I really did. Let me see here. I want to get my comments out. Okay. You have a deal that you're particularly, Alex, you wanted to talk about a particular deal. You sent it to me earlier. It's a property in Colorado that I believe you own, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I own it. It's in Aurora. Yep.
Okay. And you want to lease purchase it. It's got I'm going to just summarize here. It's got a street value of $360. You think you could sell it up to $380? There are comps to support that, and you want to set up a lease purchase. What's your question about this? What would you like to see happen? And while I'm going to pour a Shiner Bock here into my cowboy glass here. Everybody, look at that. Look at that cool little glass. Got this in a Wyoming gift shop here.
Good deal.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, so my question is really just based around, okay, this property, I would like to do a lease purchase on it. I mean, the rents in the area are about $2,000 to $2,300 that I can see on Zillow and Rent-A-Meter and stuff like that. There's a couple that are at like $2,400.
Okay.
And so,
is it a nice area? Is it a marketable area?
It is a marketable area. It's right by 4 hospitals. It's right by Anschutz Medical Center. All the hospitals you got. Yeah. Four hospitals, the major hospitals. I mean, you got people coming from all over the state to come and go to this hospital from time to time as well. So it's a pretty desirable location.
Question. Is this within walking distance of the hospitals?
I wouldn't say walking distance. I mean, you could get to the hospital in about 12 minutes walk, 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
I wouldn't consider that walking. Would you?
I think 12 minutes walking. I'm a guy who runs 10 miles a day. So when you tell me I got to walk 12 miles to go to work, I don't know if you see where I'm going here, but I think you're missing the cogent selling point here. Who would be interested in this?
Okay. Maybe somebody who works for the hospital. I would say a nurse, but nurses make a decent amount of money. But someone who can't Someone who has a lot of student debt, maybe, who's at the hospital that can't afford a down payment, maybe something like that.
I just think, do you really want to do a lease purchase on it, or just keep it as a rental?
Well, when we had our tenants from hell situation the other day, we talked about that, and
Okay.
yeah, I'm kind of just over it, man. I think I want to do something a little bit different, just because of the raising property taxes and everything. It just doesn't seem like it's the greatest property to do a long-term rental on right now, because I mean, to cover the monthly mortgage, it's, essentially $2,200, and then about $150 for, insurance and stuff like that. So we're at like $2,400 monthly just to, break even on this thing.
See, I don't think you see the value of the property you have.
What do you mean by that? There's a reason you said that.
Yes, there is, because if I was a doctor, an administrator, a nurse, a radiology technician, a security guard, excuse me, I think there's people who make very good incomes in hospitals, and they would love a property they could walk to work or drive in 5 to 10 minutes and be at work. To me, that's a big, big selling point. And I would market right to that college or hospital or big employer in that area. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Somebody have some background noise? Is that you bringing in?
Sorry.
It's all right, buddy. It's all right. So, okay, Jamie, you got to mute yourself. We're getting. There we go. Thank you. We were getting a little reverb there. You can set up as a lease purchase. You can get a better quality tenant. You may be able to sell the property within 1 year. If they buy it 1 year, it's great. You know what's the best thing about a lease purchase? If they don't buy it after 1 year, let's say that $380,000 property goes up 20% over the next year. Real estate's really doing well in Aurora right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So let's say it goes up 10%. It just went up 36,000, maybe 20%. You got lucky. Went up $72,000, and they don't exercise their option. They don't buy it in the first year. Okay. Who gets all that money? You do.
I do. Yeah.
You can change the price. You can upgrade. So if the tenants want to renew for another year, which many do, you get more non-refundable option money. You can raise the rent. You can change the price. You are totally in control. They're paying your mortgage. Maybe you're getting a positive cash flow. You're getting cash up front option money. You don't have to pay a realtor. And you've got tenants motivated to buy the property. Go ahead.
I was going to say that was my biggest thing, because I do love the location. I would love to hold on to this thing, but over the next couple of years, I don't see how it would be that profitable. Unless I rent out by room. I mean, Section 8 is still going to be about breaking even. Same with, renting it to a family. I would have to either do a lease purchase or rent it out by the room. And renting it out by the room, that's challenges right now.
Do you believe in what do the Japanese call it? Harikiri? It's a nice word for suicide. If you want to envision suicide in your life, start running a boarding house, renting individual rooms. Now, are you talking about Airbnb style, or are you talking about a boarding house here?
I cannot do short-term rental. I can't do Airbnb, but I can do, renting it out by the room. I guess boarding style is how you refer to it.
Boarding house, nightly rentals, something like that. So set it up as listen, and even if you break even on the rent for your mortgage and your taxes and everything else, PITI, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, homeowner fees, you got your insurance, maybe you have landscaping charge or HOA fees, I don't know. But the bottom line is, can you get enough option money up front on a 380 property in an upscale area or a nice area near the hospitals? I would think you should get at a minimum 5%. On the
Okay.
high side, 10, 15%. If it's in very high demand, what's the demand for housing in that area?
I mean, it is pretty high, especially because you also got to remember this is near Colfax, but I am north of Colfax, and the street that's parallel with that is Montview, and I am north of Montview, so it's very attractive where I live because I'm in North Aurora, which is not a scary part of Aurora. But if you get south of Montview, it's a little bit rougher. If you get south of Colfax, it's just no bueno. But I'm north of both of those parallel streets, so I'm in a good, desirable area.
And you had me at hello, man. You said you're near 4 hospitals.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. 4 hospitals, yeah, and they're doing a 30-year development over there. They're doing a 30-year development to add on to it. They bought out a golf course, and they're, the Fitzsimmons golf course. They're building on it. So I really don't want to sell it. I just want to make the most amount of money right now.
Well, if you do a lease purchase, and they do have the legal opportunity to buy the price of the house for the prices that you pre-negotiated. So they could buy it. Now, you'll get money up front. You'll get tenants who will take care of the property and pay you on time. They may buy it. They may not. That's the risk you take. But here's the thing. So what's the worst case scenario? They buy it. You don't pay a real estate commission because you didn't use one. You take that money and you tax exchange it into another property along the way. You're good at, you have one good skill. You're like me. I'm like an old bloodhound, blind bloodhound who could sniff up a bone once in a while. You know how to find deals.
You're right.
Right? So I think unless you got an emotional attachment to this thing and you want to keep it, then keep it as a rental and market directly. Call up human resources at the hospitals and find out how you have a really nice place for a doctor, a nurse, a technician, an administrative person. Let them know, and they'll post it on their newsletter or on their online bulletin board or something like that.
So you think it more or less might be better? I mean, another thing as well, I didn't throw this out. There's somebody 4 streets away, less than about a quarter mile, that is popping the top on their place. These are 1950s homes, brick. They're, really sturdy, great homes. And people are starting to, take off the roof and add on to it. So I've also seen that as like, okay, these houses are going to go from like the high 300s up until, maybe the 600s or so in the next, half a decade. For those folks that are popping the top.
Denver is a happening. I know one thing about real estate. If you can stay in it long enough, you will make money. I've never, knock on wood, I've never lost money on any property on a long-term basis. What do I mean by long-term? 2 to 5 years is a minimum. Okay. I've always invested, the last 20-something years, I've been invested in Colorado and California, 2 burgeoning markets. I mean, I'm in a little ski town in Colorado, right? I don't even know where I am. I'm in Colorado right now. And we have 200 people, 200 homes that just burned down. Guess what? There is nothing to rent in this area right now. Okay. Guess what people are doing? Because their houses burned down. They're buying houses that are on the market. There's nothing on the market here right now. We call that supply and demand. What does that mean to us as investors when there's no supply and the demand is through the roof for renting and buying? What does that mean to us?
Opportunity.
Oh, baby, yes.
Great news.
Oh, yeah, great news. Okay. I have properties in California. I paid $170,000 and they're worth close to $700,000 now. And it wasn't that long a period of time. Okay. That's what you can make on a long-term basis on a good property in a good neighborhood that you have leveraged either through conventional purchase or a lease purchase or owner financing or subject to. You have to make a decision. Yeah. You can rent it or you can lease purchase it. Keep your fingers crossed. Maybe nobody will buy it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if this is unethical, but I just want to be honest with it. Can I be honest with you guys for a sec?
I don't know if let me have another sip of tonight. We are drinking
There you go. Yeah.
my favorite, just because it is beer with Claude. My latest beer here. Let me talk about beer for 30 seconds. Is Shiner Bock. I really am enjoying. Have you guys ever had this? This is a great Texas beer. It's made from. It's a little town called Shiner, Texas. All they do is make beer in this little town. I think there's like 2,500 people there, and it's a really amazing. It's a really nice drinking beer. It's look at if you guys who are watching me right now. It's brown. Look at that head. I poured this about 5 minutes ago. It's still got a head. It's got a nice. It's not a true Bock beer. It's got a nice flavor, and so to your here's to everybody in these COVID times. Oh my gosh, to your health, to everybody's good health.
Yep, Nostrovia. There you go.
L'chaim. Good health. Can we? How is anybody waiting for 2021?
The whole planet.
Well, let's see. You know, we bitch and moan a lot about COVID. 200 houses. Friends of mine lost their homes. Damon has experienced how many hurricanes, Damon?
5, I think.
5 hurricanes. Didn't you just have another one?
That one, I think it was going into Florida.
Wow.
That one is, but there was one couple, maybe three.
Amazing.
Or so.
You've had a tough year than a lot of people. You've had a tough. I don't know why, Damon, but we're getting feedback from you. I'm sorry. Feedback from you. We're getting a reverb, so I'm going to have you mute. Thanks, buddy. Hey, and look, we got a legend joining us here. Felipe Bostans. All right, Felipe.
How are you guys? How's everything going?
¿Cómo está, dude?
Good. Finally, like this is one of the few months of the year that I can just, enjoy myself outdoors without getting beaten the hell out of by mosquitoes or, like sweating galore. It's just nice. It's nice outside.
I have no mosquitoes at 10,000 feet at 7 degrees. I have no mosquitoes. It's always a trade-off, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where Damon lives, the mosquitoes are so big they fly off with small babies. I mean, you have these monsters. Let me see. Alex, I want to make sure there's closure here.
Okay.
I think you're on I think you got you underestimated your property. You're near a place where the demand is. If you do a little marketing, you will get whatever you want on this property. You should get some decent option money. So even if you break even on the rent, you're still ahead.
I agree.
If you get $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 up front for an option on a property, and they pay enough money to help you cover your PIT and everything, and they don't buy it, who wins? You do. If they buy it and it goes up, they win.
So that's my next question. My next question that I was alluding to before we had cheers here was, and I know a lot of people think of this, something that nobody says, but what if I structured a lease option in a way that was obviously in my favor, where somebody has a likelihood of not going through on it, like maybe a 5-year lease option that's beneficial for me, where the likelihood of them not exercising their option is beneficial for me, and I get to essentially profit the their option money up front.
So I think your question is, should you do a 5-year lease option with one tenant? Did I misunderstand you?
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, more simple. I use a lot of words.
I prefer, this is what I've always done, except for my own home. If I was going to rent a house, I would want to negotiate as long a lease with an option as possible. Okay, I can always get out of a lease, but the longer I have the lease, the option, the more money I can make on the property. I'm locked in at a price, and if I got a good home in a good neighborhood, and I've recorded it, and I got a good contract notarized with all the owners, and I get it for $100,000, and then 3 years later it's worth $250,000. I made $150,000 on a property I don't own, but I'm protected contractually. I would recommend but if I was the landlord, I would always want to keep my contracts at 1 year for the obvious reason that I can adjust the price, adjust the rent, and get more option money.
Okay. So doing it year to year would be the most advantageous thing with more option consideration up front.
Absolutely. That's what I'd recommend on it. And, do a little grassroots marketing, call up these hospitals. Maybe, you could always go to your tenants and adjust the rent if they stay. Some of my tenants stay year after year, so you renew the option. You carry over some of the rent credit, but you change the price, you change the rent. Okay, let's say they get a little of the appreciation. You split it 50-50 if it goes up on it, but they didn't exercise their option. You don't have to do that, but if they're a good tenant, you want to keep them in the property. I've had people in properties for years and years, and it went up in value, and they never exercised their option. Do you think I love that? You better believe it. Guess who got the equity? Guess who had someone else paying off his mortgage? Guess who got the tax benefits? Moi, right here. So you can go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, so you continue to let them do it year to year, and you're like, okay, we'll split the equity 50-50, and they never buy?
Yeah, I've had that happen many a time. Many a time. Can I tell you about human nature a little bit?
Yeah, I think we'd all love that.
Yeah. Okay. Hope springs eternal in many people. They want to buy the property. They put some money down. They're not ready to buy because they don't have the credit. They don't have enough down payment to do a conventional mortgage. They haven't been at their job long enough. So they move into a property today. They enjoy it. They lock in the price and terms, but they haven't had, here's the operative word, they haven't had the maturity to pay off debt, to improve their credit, or to not change jobs like you and I change our underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it takes a certain amount of financial maturity to buy a home. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. A lot of people the light bulb never goes on. Okay. And to buy a home takes a lot of sacrifice. You can't always take the trips, the vacation, buy the big screen TV. You have to give up a lot so that you have a low income to debt ratio or a high income to low debt ratio, and you can eventually buy a home. It takes a lot of sacrifice. You got to be at a job for a while. You got to have a good FICO score. You got to put decent money down. This is something, unless you're a trust fund baby or you got rich parents, this is something a lot of us have to sacrifice for. I mean, when Claudia and I bought our first home, it was like, wow, we were nervous, but we were excited, and we saved up for a while before we did it. So that's my best answer. I hope I helped you there with that deal. Hey, we've got some people here in the
yeah, that's good.
In the chat box.
Thank you, Claude.
You're welcome. Thank you. Drive carefully. We got Hickam Chalub. Cheers, Claude. You changed my life. Well, thank you, Hickam. He says he's from Beirut, Lebanon. Salam alaikum. Hello, Beirut, Lebanon. Beirut, Lebanon is the Riviera of the Midwest at one time, of the Mideast. It was considered one of the most beautiful. It still is a beautiful place, but they've had some troubles in the past, as we all know. Michael Alyan. Hi, Claude. May I ask a question? Of course, Michael. You can either join us in the group or you can just post your question in Facebook there. Absolutely. And let's go. We've been ignored. I've been rude here. Glenn Tuttle, how are you, young man?
I'm doing well, thank you. I had some issues this week. I put some posts on Facebook, and all of them were rejected. So I don't know what I did wrong.
Who rejected them?
Facebook.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. They didn't even say why. So I don't understand social media very well. I've never used it. I'm not a fan of it, but I know I have to do it.
Yeah, maybe they thought you were the New York Post. Yeah,
maybe.
That's a political joke. They wouldn't post the article about that the Post ran about.
What is everybody else in the group doing to gather leads, or are you just calling people on Zillow, or what's easier?
Let's go around the room. Felipe, why don't you jump in here, buddy?
Great question. I mean, it all depends on the strategy. What's your exit strategy? Are you doing lease purchase, wholesale?
I know more about lease purchasing than anything else, so I'm gonna have to stay with that strategy and learn that one.
Okay. Right. So for that, I probably won't be the most qualified to give you the lead sources. I focus primarily on wholesale, like fix and flips, distressed properties, and I mean we do have the data. We're a data provider, but it all goes back to what Claude says all the time. It's better to have fewer warm quality leads getting back to you than you just trying to do that mass approach that it's like a shotgun approach. You want to be a sniper. You want to have maybe on the ads on Facebook, maybe try out something different with the wording. Use intrigue, like to make the your prospects wanna read the ad and try other sources.
Do you guys, Damon or Alex, you want to jump in? What do you guys do to attract leads to get so stay busy? And then I'll tell you and then I'll share with you guys what I do.
Well, I do what. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Damon, why do you have that feedback?
I don't know.
You're the only one.
Let me leave and I'll come back and see if it helps out.
Okay. Do you have more than one device going on at the same time? Interesting. No, I don't know why you're getting that echo. Can you hear it too?
No, I don't hear it. I'll leave and I'll come back.
Okay. Sorry.
It reminded me of the good old days when you used to call the TV or the radio and they were like, hey, just turn the volume down. Turn the volume down.
Yeah, and everything. Alex, you're in real estate in Colorado. What do you do for leads? How do you keep busy?
Man, I do what you do not do. I call lists. I call out an absentee owner lists. I call high equity lists. Another thing is I free float, so I'm not the best person. I love setting appointments. I love dealing with bankruptcy and all that stuff. So I don't know if that's helpful.
You do that through an app?
Do I what?
Do you get this list through an app or what?
Yeah, I use PropStream. I don't know if you've heard of PropStream, but you can download up to 10,000 leads per month. It's pretty synonymous with the data that you can get from ListSource. But I like PropStream because my virtual assistant can do it. I can do it, and it's okay. It's not the best, right? I mean, going out and shotgun approach, right? That takes a lot of energy, honestly.
And this is where look, Jose, Mr. Ayala joined us here. How you doing, Jose? The shotgun approach, a lot of people do it. Basically, what Alex was talking is if you buy a list, you program the list for people in foreclosure, probates, behind in payments. They've owned the home for 20 years. You can do a million different
filters.
I'm sorry?
Filters? Like
yeah. Exactly. The thing about that type of marketing is that's like swinging at a piñata with the blindfold on, okay? You're trying to create a list. They don't know who you are. You're calling up people, texting them, emailing them. The rejection rate is very high. And here's my problem. You guys know I always have my boo effing who tissues nearby. I can't stand too much rejection. Okay, I hate making those phone calls when everybody says, leave me alone, take me off your list. I'll think about it. Let me talk to my spouse. I got to walk my 10 chihuahuas. I don't want to hear that stuff. I like to have good. If I have a handful of good conversations, do you guys know what I mean by good conversations? Even if you don't do a deal, you have a nice dialogue with somebody at least. I need that. That's my oxygen. Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just honest with myself. I don't want rejection all day long. If I get rejection, I go back to 1980 Claude, who procrastinates. Oh, gee, maybe I should wash the car before I make those phone calls that might make me money. So I started developing. I'm a big fan. I always talk about Gary Vaynerchuk. He's missed. He went to Madison Avenue, which is the advertising capital of the world, and he said, "Hey guys, you don't get it. Nobody's watching your dopey TV shows anymore. They're watching. They're watching Netflix. They're staring into their iPhone all day long. They're using social media marketing. You're on the wrong. You've got the wrong content on the wrong medium." And he started going to the big companies and said, "You know what? Your audience they're on their iPhone. They're on FaceTime and Twitter and TikTok, and Instagram and all that." And so I started doing my marketing strictly social media. And you guys know I do a lot of YouTube videos, and I've got thousands of followers on this. These people have opted in. They follow my YouTube videos with the content I post. And that results in people going to my webpage, scheduling with me, calling me. And I don't get the volume that maybe other people want, but I get the quality. And I'll take quality over volume any day of the week. Glenn, does that help in any way? Glenn?
Yes. I'll have to start a YouTube channel. I don't have one, so I'll have to start one.
To start up a Facebook page, if you like to post things, if you like to post links, if you like to take pictures, Instagram. If you got a creative side, you can do TikTok. You can do Pinterest or something like that. If you like to do videos, I like to do 2-3 minute videos. Every day I get ideas. So I'll give you an idea. Right now, I have 2 sheets here on some video topics I'm going to do. One video I'm going to call it "The Consequence of Your Actions." Another video I'm going to do is how to be hypnotic in sales. These are new videos I'm going to do. Right now, I have 15, 16 videos posted on YouTube just for November. And all those videos are going to be sent to Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all the other. So if I have a sexy title, if I have good content, if I offer an incentive, something for free, I can't help if it's an interesting enough video. If you're boring, then you better not do videos, okay? But I'm going to offer enough content to attract people who call me. And I get phone calls every day. I get appointments scheduled. I get texts. I get emails. I get a lot of garbage too. Okay, you know, Felipe and I were talking today about trolls and things like that. But I'd rather have a handful of quality, good calls every day than chase a lot of garbage leads. That's
I mean,
go ahead.
It's easy to get sucked up in the vortex and drink the Kool-Aid of yeah, you know what, you have to. It's a numbers game. Talk to 100 people, have 99 of them tell you no, so then you can get a yes. The reality is that you can only go for so long until, you know, with the whip marks on your back, until you're like, you know, it's like you can't handle it anymore. So that's why it's super important to have a balance. It's, you know, like, especially when you're starting, yeah, you got to pay your dues. It's not either or. You don't have a following yet. So the warm quality leads is more like a marathon, not a sprint. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to have 10 people calling you tomorrow, but you have to break from the traditional model of, you know, like, and I can tell you, because I have a real estate business. I provide data and I provide leads for clients, and it's getting more and more competitive. We are sending on average 12 to 15,000 text messages per day to get 3 to 6 qualified leads.
Wow.
And it takes manpower, it takes virtual assistant hours, it takes
Dinero, baby. Dinero.
Yeah. And if you look at it at the end of the month, yeah, it's a high revenue business. So it's a high revenue, but also a high overhead, high headache, dealing with employees, dealing with the human factor. And, you know, like, it's way better to have what this gentleman has here, where, you know, like, it's low overhead, it's true freedom, you know, like, people coming to you. That's what the definition of virtual attraction. But again, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You have to put content out there, and not just content. You know, it has to be quality content. You have to, you know, depending on your strategy, you have to like figure it out. Okay, I'm going to focus on lease purchase. You start talking about that topic and putting, again, 3-minute videos, no more than that. But you have to do it consistently every day. It's just like making the phone calls. Because it's
question on Facebook. You would just like post it in newsfeed, or you would go to the ad manager, or what would be best?
Great question.
Private group.
Private group.
Make a private group.
Yeah. If I was just starting out today,
or join a private group.
Yeah. If I was just starting out today, brand new in real estate, I would do what Alex and the other fellow. I would go on to Zillow. I would look in my area, within a 25, 50-mile radius. I would look for sale by owner or for rent by owner, because I love dealing with owners rather than their representatives. Okay, I just think I'd rather talk to the boss, and negotiate right from there using the gut sales method. So I would go there. I would go into Craigslist. I would go into Redfin, Trulia. And that's kind of cold calling, if you will, or lukewarm calling. Yes.
Hey, Claude, would you starting off then do that instead of trying the shotgun approach? Using a CRM and all of that to get your 5 in 3. You know how you're saying, hey, you got to do 5 a day, 3 deals a day, or 3 offers a day. Would you rather go that route and work slowly? Because a lot of the teachers that are out there, the gurus that are out there, are basically leading you to a CRM program.
Why?
And to go do the shotgun
Ask
approach.
yourself why.
Because there's money involved, and they're probably marketing it, and they're
There's
making
more money
some money
selling
in the
more
deal too.
upsell items. You sell a program, then you sell a CRM, then you sell a virtual assistant kind of thing. And it's
right.
Just, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with these other methods. This is a very subjective business.
Right.
But how much money can you afford to spend? How much overhead can you have?
Right.
Can you afford to be in the red for 6 months, 12 months before you're in the black?
Yeah.
I tend to I tend to want to I want to make money today. That's why I'm in business. And I've done all the shining objects stuff. I've had the office. I've had the secretary. I've gone from program to program. I've done all these things like other people have.
Right.
The one thing that you guys know where I'm going with this. The one thing is getting me on the phone with a few quality prospects every day, just 2 or 3 or 5 a day. Mm-hmm. And let me speak to them using the psychology of the gut sales method. And Mrs. Diamond will be very happy. Okay. Mm. And that's, to me, I want a quality business with low overhead and high profit. Is that asking, am I a capitalist or what?
I mean, real quick, if you feel that you need a CRM, man, just start out with Podio. Podio is awesome. You can customize it a little bit, but set a timer. Be like, I'm only going to customize it for 20 minutes. You probably won't finish your customization. Be like, okay, I'm going to give myself 10 more minutes. And then that's it. That's your follow-up. You can do follow-up things. You can do calendar things on there. It's very easy. It's free. You can have up to I think 10 or 20 users for free. So start with Podio or use a spreadsheet, but don't let the CRM stop you from making calls.
Yeah. Use it.
Yeah, that's the kiss of death. When technology becomes, when you start overusing technology. And take it from somebody that owns a CRM company, and we do actually offer that service. We do manage people sending messages, people making cold calls, like appointment setters and all that. And you have to, before you even make the decision of, okay, what CRM I'm going to use, is I get crystal clear on what do I want to do? What am I going to get myself into? Because it's a one-way trip. You start off on that path, and then you're gonna see yourself investing, $3, $6, $9,000 a month just in marketing and overhead, and then how much money do you get to keep? How much money are you actually making at the end of the month? Because busy, it's not good.
I have been teaching real estate, mentoring people, coaching for a long time, 30 years. And a lot of people, they just get stuck. Are you going, Alex? Was that a bye-bye wave?
Yeah, I'm heading out. I'm getting ready to get some food here with a guy from Zillow. It's like pushing like 30 grand a month. But yeah, I'm heading out.
There you go. Well, have a nice evening. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Take care, guys.
Thanks.
I see the Christmas tree lights behind them already and everything. The thing about it is getting into a business, a kitchen table real estate business. How far in the hole do you want to go before you start making money? This is a business that takes a while to ramp up. It's not get rich quick. It's get wealthy slowly. And so to me, all these other things, the CRMs, all the other bells and whistles are great. They're fine. The thing about it is focus on the sales skills.
And that's the last thing you want to delegate. The very last thing. And if possible, don't. Because that's where like the gurus out there, they got it wrong. And of course, there's well-known gurus in the real estate space that say that the 3 pillars of real estate investing are marketing, automation, and delegation. That's bullshit. It's sales first, sales second, sales third, and then the rest.
The people who I know who are financially very secure, very wealthy, very happy, by the way, people who make a lot of money and do something they love, they're pretty happy people, by the way.
Yeah.
They're superb in their persuasion abilities. Okay. So even if you had a 1 prospect a day, but it was a good prospect with a problem, and you got into a good dialogue, you used the gut sales system, you learned how to ask questions. Gee, you didn't go into that typical salesman mode. And you asked the question, gee, what would you like to see happen? What is your biggest challenge? What is your problem? And I have a solution for you. And very direct, very honest and transparent with that person. If you behave in that way and you act in that way and you market to just quality prospects, you can't help but succeed. I think people burn out because they're doing too much. They're spending too much money and they're doing too much running around. Am I being too honest tonight? Is it because I'm drinking my beer? It's beer with Claude. So this is my happy hour with you guys. So my approach is to have a couple quality calls, buyers, sellers, investors, landlords, realtors. I'll talk to anybody, but can we consistently speak to people every day and have a good conversation? Absolutely. I've got a question here from Mike. He's been very patient. He sent it to me. Hi, Claude. I have a lease option tenant that was screened by a tenant screen company. Somehow the screening company missed the fact that the tenant is a convicted felon. This is getting interesting. Well, he's been in the house for 3 years and his option is now over because he most likely can't get a loan. He wants me to sell him the home with seller financing. He says he has $40,000 to put down. Option price is $135,000. The value of the home has increased to $180,000 since he moved in. What do you advise? What do you guys think? Should he? My question would be: was he a good tenant over the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Did they agree on 135 in the beginning?
He says he has $40,000 to put down, but the option price is $135,000. The value of the home is $180,000. If his option is now over, that's the thing. And what I would do is, Mike, if he was a good tenant, he's got his act together, if you know what I mean, and he's been paying you on time, I would renegotiate with him. Maybe split the. You wanted $135 originally. The house is worth $180. Maybe make it $150, $155 for $40,000 down. If he's a good tenant,
right.
If he buys that and give him another year, If he buys the house, great. If he doesn't buy the house, you keep the 40,000, and maybe you need 40,000 right now. A lot of people do. So it depends on his personal situation. Which you guys chime in on this. What do you think?
That's exactly what I would offer. I would probably. Go ahead, Glenn.
No, I just say you would renegotiate with a new contract.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the 180?
He could technically, legally, Mike, you could renegotiate a 180 contract. You could, but here, I always go back to reality. If I have a good tenant in the property, let's say I need 40,000 right now. I've been out of work, I got some bills or something. That 40,000 is pretty darn tempting, isn't it? Okay, so it comes down to me, is this guy going to be a pain in my butt? Has he been a bad tenant? Is he trashing the property? Is he paying the rent late, or has he been a good guy? Okay, I would not hold his convicted felony against him unless he's some kind of serial murder or something. I would call up that company, by the way, and find out why they didn't figure that out. I'd be a little personally, renting to somebody with a felony behind them. That's a little risky for an investor. But if the guy's a good tenant, if he's working, he's cleaned up his act, he's paying the rent on time, why not keep doing business with him?
Mm-hmm.
I think he asked if you would only do the lease option or do a seller finance.
Yeah, that just popped up. Once again, it comes down to Martin Luther King always used to say, let's judge people by the content of their character. Can you imagine that? Okay. So if you feel this is a good guy, he's working hard, you haven't had any issues with him, then go for it. You can do owner financing, but I'd get an attorney involved. I'd get up a good contract drawn up.
Notarized, recorded, everything.
Notarized, recorded, get a good attorney. Make sure you're protecting yourself. If he starts missing payments or something, you want to have the right documents, right paperwork, and everything else so that you can foreclose on him. But he's been with you for 3 years. You should have a good idea about what the person you're dealing with, I would think. Call up his parole officer. Say, hey, has this guy got his S together or not? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hope I helped you, Mike. We're going to move on here. Hi, Brandon Simmons has a question. Oh, Jason Knopp. Hi, Jason, my friend in Montreal there. We're good beer in Canada, by the way. Good beer. One of the best beers, by the way, is from Canada, I believe, is Carling Black Label. And I think Carling Black Label made the best manipulative beer commercial ever made. Would you guys wouldn't want to see it, would you?
Beer Friday, go ahead.
I just happened to, it's my show. I can do whatever the hell I want. Here, let me share this stuff. Let me share this commercial with you. This goes back, I think, to the 60s or something. It's a phenomenal commercial, and it's very subtle, it's very stealth, the methods of manipulation and persuasion that they use. So I'm going to share the screen here on this, and here we go. Can you see the screen, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Black Label.
Black Label. Listen, watch this commercial. It's only a minute long. Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that.
Darling philosophy. Time, the maker of beer, is also the great destroyer. Shipped from city to city, stashed away in warehouses, even a great beer like ours would slowly, surely lose the taste that made it great. This is why we brew Black Label at 8 breweries around the country. the 8 stars on the map.
Look at that sandwich.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-huh. We want our beer to be the freshest beer you can buy. The problem philosophy, huh?
I love anything with food in it. Okay, he's eating, he's talking, he's everything you're not supposed to do in a commercial, probably, which is why I love it. It's so different. And he's eating that sandwich while he's reading the can of beer and everything. What emotion? What do you think they're trying to communicate to sell more beer? What do you think they're trying to do there?
Regular everyday guy.
Yeah. There, you see somebody. If you, I'm the easiest guy in the world to sell. All you've got to do is hit me emotionally, real easy. You want to sell me a pizza? What do you have to do? What do you have to do? What do you have to do to me to sell me a pizza right now, Glenn or Jose or Felipe? You need to. Tonight's pizza night in the Diamond household, by the way. Okay, you want to sell me a pizza right now? How would you sell me? But don't sell me like features and benefits type of salesman. Sell me like emotionally. What would you do?
Imagine for a moment. Use the 5 senses.
Claude, do you like pizza? Imagine for a moment, and then go ahead.
I'll let one of the guys do it. Come on, Jose, you got it.
I'm not very good at it, so I'll go.
As you pick up the piece, it starts dripping down the backside of your hand.
Oh, the oil!
That's the New York taste of a thin slice of crusty pizza. There's nothing like it.
I need more though. Here, I'm going to give you a hint. Guts 2.0, which is the next evolutionary step in Guts, is about adding. Damon.
There you go again.
I'm sorry, Damon. You're getting that feedback again. It's about incorporating the 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. You're painting a picture in someone's mind. This is a form of hypnosis, by the way. Great salespeople are hypnotists. Did you know that? They paint a picture in your mind. Okay. So if I go to, if you want to sell me a slice of pizza, you've got to use, hey, Jose, do you like pizza? Unmute yourself, buddy.
I love it. I had some today.
Oh man, I love pizza. I think it's like if I was on an island and I could only have one food trapped on an island, it would be pizza. It would definitely be pizza. And if they gave me a choice for liquid, it would be probably beer. Did you ever have the most perfect slice of pizza where you bend the crust? In New York City, pizza's like a religion. And you bend that pizza in half, and there's a little crackle, that little crunch on that, and the cheese is just dripping down with the oil, like you said before. And you bite into the pepperoni and the cheese, and you burn your mouth. It's so good, you can't stop eating it. It's so satisfying and everything. And you could smell all the other pizzas coming out of the oven, and you have a little sip of nice Chianti next to it, and you're having it. I don't know if you're interested in having pizza tonight for dinner. Is that something we should talk about and take our girlfriends out?
I already did.
Okay. What was going through your mind when I was really going a little over the top on pizza there?
I would say a nice, quaint restaurant with a wood-fired pizza oven.
Oh, yeah. A wood-fired, and that smell of the fresh wood coming through the restaurant.
Whoa, look at Felipe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there he goes. Look at Oh, gosh. Oh, we got some comments here. Hervik liked my video there. You should try Le Cheval Blanc. You'll love it. There are countless Oh, yes, absolutely. Canadian beer. I love. You know what I love? Moosehead beer, by the way, Jason. That's one of my all-time favorite beers. Real Estate Wholesaler Club. Sell like Bob Ross. Who remembers Bob Ross, the painter? Do you remember? Bob Ross, he would take a blank canvas. He would take this huge brush, not these little pencil brushes, this monster brush, and draw these beautiful landscapes and stuff. And he would talk to the audience while he was doing it. If you Google Bob Ross, you'll see he was a phenomenal following. Jason says, imagine for a second you were sitting down with your significant other on a movie night, watching your favorite TV show with a beer in one hand and the slice of pizza in the other. And then after you finish the pizza and you and your lovely other half are snuggling under a warm blanket with the fireplace going, maybe sipping a little nice Courvoisier and everything, and then the mood strikes you. Can you imagine all that from just starting with pizza? That's Guts 2.0.
You had me at TV show.
You had me at the TV. Buy it now before it gets cold. Real Estate Wholesalers Club. My religion is pizza. $1 million T-shirt idea. You cannot go wrong. It's but the point is, how do you persuade another person? How do you convince somebody, whether it's pizza or real estate or you're selling used bubble gum? How do you get someone emotionally involved? What's the $1 million rule, Felipe? Say it.
People make immediate business decisions based on emotion, and they justify it on logic later. Now, you asked a question. It's like, what does it take for them to be so-called hypnotized? There's a word that starts with C. It's called compliance. Okay, they or consensus or commitment, but they need to have the willingness to be persuaded.
The willingness, the compliance, how do you get somebody? You're talking with a stranger, a cold call, or maybe a lukewarm call. How do you get that person to be compliant? How do you do a
strong agenda and you give them permission to say no?
Do you think
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that does it. You.
How do you get somebody compliant? This little secret about hypnotism, guys. I have a hypnotherapy degree. I got a bartending degree, a hypnotherapy degree, and the bartending degree, and a doctorate in law, and a business degree. The bartending degree is the most valuable one because very few people can make a good margarita. But the thing is, how do you cannot force somebody to do something against their will. A lot of times in sales, they bring up an objection, and what does the traditional sales guy do?
Right.
Overcome.
Overcome, manipulate, argument.
Dirty word. Overcome is like scripts. You don't overcome objections.
Hey, Claude, how about tonality? Using the tone of voice, how you want to bring in somebody closer to you when you're trying to make a point. You lower your voice and you go slower. I've seen that becomes somewhat hypnotic on how you use your tone of voice.
Well, Jose, I'm a really loud, flamboyant guy. My arms wave around and everything. But sometimes when I want to make a point,
exactly,
I start to slow down and I speak much softer. Jose, can I share something with you very personal, very important that could change your life? Would you mind if I share that with you?
No, I don't mind at all.
Boom. You see the difference. We're in the business of capturing attention. What is a commercial supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
Trigger emotion.
Right. Capture you.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I have to go.
Where are you going? You don't have anywhere to go. Where are you going? You're in beautiful.
I'm picking up my daughter. She's does practice gymnastics and she's in a competition team. So she trains for like 3.5 hours, 3 times a week.
Wow.
That's what 1%ers do. Then she wanted to be a 1%er, and now she has to pay her dues. Like she has to do what it takes.
How hungry is she when you pick her up?
Can I share something personal, very private with the group and with everybody that is watching? She ranked last year in the nationals. She ranked second, so she got the silver medal. And everybody, like including my wife, was congratulating her. It's like, "Oh, honey, you did amazing," and she was crying because she didn't get first place. And I'm like, "That's okay. That's okay to feel like that, because you got to be like Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last. You know." That's
Listen,
so.
do you think Bill Gates is worried about what's his name, Warren Buffett being first?
No.
You're gonna, it's okay. Sometimes second and third place is okay. You don't have to be. What do you need in life to be happy?
Right.
You need beer and pizza, guys. That's what you need.
It's the secret of life from Felipe in Miami.
And Netflix, and then you imagine the rest. All right, guys.
Take care, buddy.
Take care. Have a great one.
Take care. You're a lucky man. You got beautiful children. There you go. It's so funny. We forget. Has somebody got the shower going in the background? There we go. Oh, was that Felipe? Okay, he's off. We forget what does it take to convince another person to persuade them? Do we get on the phone? Hi, you read that script. Hi, just reaching out to you today. I heard you have a house for sale, and I just would like to tell you everything you didn't want to hear about lease purchasing. What happens when we get those phone calls at dinner time? We've all had them, right? The robocalls, the voicemails, the god awful. They should. I believe in one exception for execution. Any telemarketer calls me with a political phone call, that instant execution. Yeah, are we so glad this election is over? But the thing is, how do we react to people who just sell to us in the traditional manner? This is 2020, almost 21. Thank God for 21. Does anybody want to stay in this year any longer than we have to? No. Don't we? Can we wait? Can we not wait till 2021? It's got to be better.
Once we get the vaccine.
And we will. I'm an optimist. We will get a vaccine. Things will go back to normal, not as fast as we want to.
Right.
Things always get worse like they are right now. COVID is really ramping up in a lot of parts of the country and stuff like that. But things will get better.
Right.
Absolutely. I think we'll be back to normal. It might take another 6, 12, 18, 24 months. And we're going to look back on this. And are they going to make movies about this?
Probably. The type of salesman that really irks me is when I walk into Costco and you have to walk past the electronic department that's in the front door, and the guy always wants to sell you a subscription to DirecTV or whatever. It's like, hey, buddy, can I ask you a question? I've heard that script 1,000 times. It's like very irritating.
What Costco are you going to? I've never been bothered in Costco. I don't.
They're always trying to sell a subscription to something, fix your house or DirecTV subscription or whatever.
In Costco, okay. I've never been bothered in Costco. The dangerous thing to me in Costco is all those little people with those samples. Have you ever done a couple loops around the aisle to keep going back to the same table with chicken wings? I know I'm the only one, right?
I heard they make a lot of money in those samples.
Samples are great. Why do they do samples, by the way?
You taste it. You experience it.
What happens when you taste something? You get the little dumplings or the salmon on a cracker or the cheese or something. What happens?
You want more.
You want more. You end up buying.
Right.
You end up buying right away, don't you? Do you know when they do a sample tray like that, you get they double and triple their sales with that particular product.
Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it? How important is it? Do you guys have any other questions? If we have any other questions here, let's see. What happened to your hair, Damon? Wait, that's is that our buddy? That is Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Can you hear me okay now?
There's a
Okay.
noise in the
I don't know
background.
what's
Is that
going
you,
on with the
Glenn?
sound.
Is your TV on or something? Oh.
I dialed it down all the way, so that might be it.
Yeah, there. Okay, little shushing sound back there. It's back again for some reason. I'm gonna.
Sound on.
Okay, there you go. That's Jet. Hey, Justin, come on. We got about 5 more minutes here, and then come on, buddy. Here, I'll even post the link here.
So, Claude, quick question then. On your response and your answer to me about going the other way, not necessarily being bogged down with starting to use a CRM. If my goal is to start doing 5 a day, is it better just to go straight to like a Zillow, pick a few of those out and move slower so that you can meet your goal of 5 a day and 3 offers and focus on that? Because I think I would stand a better chance of going slow than trying to use a shotgun approach.
Well, in all things, sometimes slower is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would just look up for like a 20 to 30 mile radius for rent by owner or for sale by owner, and just start making a few phone calls, cold calls to those people.
Right. Okay.
My take on this is we've lost the one skill. We've lost this one skill of communicating with people in such a way that we don't sound like a used car salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've lost that skill. And if we go to somebody and sound like the other 99%, hi there, just reaching out, how are you today? And all that kumbaya BS. Instead of saying, I heard you have a problem. I'd like to help you solve it today. Look at that. We got a legend on here today. We got a superstar.
It's good to see everybody. What's going on, Uncle Claude?
Hey, buddy. How you been?
Man, it's just like
you never
getting
sleep.
better and better.
You never sleep. You're always working.
I know, but that's because I'm always making money, Claude. Everything I do, somehow I make more money.
What a big what a problem you have.
Yes, that's true.
You've been very successful. What do you owe your success to? You're such a good communicator. You're everywhere, man. I see you pop up on Periscope, on YouTube. You're all over the place.
Claude, I have to thank everybody that watches me and supports me and accepts me, because you talk a lot about doing this daily attraction marketing, and let me tell you, it's tough when you're first getting started to think of something to say or something to do, or people won't be interested in me, people won't like me. But I found out that YouTube, even though it's kind of like junior high, there are people out there that will like you just for you. And yeah. I'm proof of that.
Yeah. Yeah. How important is it to just be the greatest compliment I ever received in my life was from my daughter. She said, Dad, you're just comfortable in your own skin. Man, it took me a long time to get there. It took me a long time. What are we drinking? We got a Blue Moon and I got a Shiner Bock here.
But this is an iced coffee blonde.
Whoa, that sound. Tell us about this. This is Beer with Claude. Tell us about that.
Man, you know how Blue Moon has that kind of orange? It's brewed with orange peels or something. It's the orange flavored beer almost. It's kind of like that still, except they've added this coffee flavor to it, so it almost tastes a little bit like a cappuccino, except you can still taste the beer in it. So here's what I want to compare it to.
Is it like
what?
Like porters to me have that coffee chocolate taste.
Okay, what it reminds me of is here in Kansas City, one of the microbreweries is, it used to be, what's that microbrewery? Boulevard Wheat. Okay, so they come out with about every other Christmas, they come out with a chocolate beer and they sell it just like temporarily, seasonally throughout the season. So if you ever have a chocolate beer like that from a microbrewery, this is kind of what that's like, except coffee-ish.
Now, let me ask you, Can you still get a good steak in Kansas City? As a lead.
Oh yeah, Capital Grills here. That's really good.
What's the best steak you ever had?
You know, honestly, the best steak I ever had was one I cooked at home.
Okay, sure. You're gonna laugh. I've been to Masterpiece in Kansas City. I thought it was great. Now you probably think I'm just a tourist, but I thought it was wonderful.
No, there's a lot of good food here. A lot of really great food in Kansas City. You know, we're famous for the barbecue, though.
Oh yeah, ribs,
But
brisket, or beef, ribs, brisket, or sausage.
All of it, man. I love burnt ends.
Is everybody hungry now?
Tater salad too. All that.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got to have that. How about a side? Oh yeah, and some corn on the cob.
Oh yeah, on the cob. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And they give you one napkin usually, right? You got to make that napkin last.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to get up and go get more.
I need a roll of paper towels, man, when I eat barbecue. It's all over the place. The last thing I ever do is wear anything light colored, a light colored shirt or anything when I'm doing barbecue.
Right.
It's like a magnet.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually leave a paper towel roll on the table here in a lot of these barbecue joints.
That's called civilization, isn't it?
That's customer service right there for you. You know.
What do you drink? What do you drink with good barbecue? Iced tea, Coca-Cola, beer, wine.
Yeah, I like sugar. So sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we're not the South here in Kansas City. We're kind of on the border of the South.
Well,
so here you have to ask. You're like, you know, do you have sweet tea? You know, what would you like to drink today? Go, do you have sweet tea? Some places they don't, but you know, if they got it, I'm on it.
But if you go to Kansas City, you hear a couple y'alls every now and then, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Right downtown here is the very center of the buckle of the Bible Belt.
How y'all doing? How's everything going? Listen, speaking of y'all, I gotta go. Pizza's in the oven. Wife is waiting. In my home, if mom is happy, everybody's happy. I don't know about you guys. Liz, thanks for joining. This hour went hour and 12 minutes went very fast. And thanks for joining Beer with Claude here. We had some good information, good conversation tonight. Everyone go home, or you are home. We're all home. We never go anywhere anymore, do we?
Never.
God.
Never.
Oh God. First, I can't wait to go back to San Diego and get an In-N-Out burger. Why am I talking about food so much tonight? Listen, because I always talk a lot about food. Listen, everybody be safe, be happy, make some money, give good phone. And Justin, when's your next broadcast? Oh, he's gone. We lost him. I'll say adieu. Thanks everybody for joining. Ryan, thank you for joining. And everybody else, and have a nice evening. Oh, Claudia's even here.
Hi.
Okay, is dinner burned?
Yes, it's burned.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's Damon and Glenn and Jose.
See, a good-looking son of a gun. Look at him, you know. But
he's living on the on the rough side. For God's sake, he's
five hurricanes.
He's loving hurricanes, Damon. Seriously.
You know,
oh my God!
And you know Jose and Glenn.
I do know Jose and Glenn, and Felipe was on before.
Felipe had to pick up his daughter because she's tumbling across the I-95 right now or something.
Oh, Alligator Alley.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hey, Jane. Sean says hello.
To you, Sean, or Phyllis Sangiovese.
There we go.
Forget the wine. Forget the beer.
I love beer. I love a good beer.
No. Nice wine.
There you go. Hey, everybody. Have a nice evening. Thanks for joining me. Be safe. Be good. Okay. Make some money. Pick up the phone. Take care.